Okay, so people are on Zoom. You'll see the notice that we're streaming on YouTube now. And we're just about ready to go. Need another arm. Okay. So let's start it on the record. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, like I said before, welcome. This is docket 5 UR 110. The application of Wisconsin Electric Power Company and Wisconsin Gas LLC for authority to adjust electric, natural gas, and steam rates. That's the title of the case. We're only actually dealing with electric and natural gas rates in this reopened proceeding. My name is Michael Newmark, Administrative Law Judge for the PSC. We're here to take public comments today in the public hearing session in this case. We're also accepting written comments online and through the Commission's website and also by U.S. mail. Those comments are due no later than Monday, the 16th in 2003. So, yes, I hit that age. All right, so we're streaming on YouTube. We're also taking comments through a Zoom connection. So you'll be hearing the Zoom comments through this little speaker device. And everyone will be able to be viewed on Zoom and on YouTube. So we'll kind of juggle between those. We do have quite a number of people on Zoom and quite a number of people here to make comments. So I appreciate everyone showing up and coming here to give us your input. We also have Commissioner Huebner today, one of the commissioners for the commission, one of the decision makers in the case. We have 3 commissioners. So they'll all review the record in the case, which will be the documents that we accepted from the parties and commission staff last week, the transcript of that hearing, and the transcript of this hearing, which we're creating now with our esteemed court reporter. So the commissioners will read the record, they'll make a decision on the case by voting on each issue that's presented. And once a decision is made, a written order will be produced based on what the commission decides. And then that'll be issued by the commission. It'll be posted on the commission's website and emailed to the service list of parties and commission staff. So just a few ground rules for making a comment. I'm just going to call your name from the appearance list. And also, like I said, juggle some people in here through Zoom. For the people here, you just need to come up to the seat, the hot seat here. I'll swear you in and just give us your name and your comment. We're just here to listen. Same thing with the Zoom participants. I'll just call the name off the list as I see it here. Have you unmute your microphone and then give your name and comment. Oh, and I'll swear you in as well. I don't forget. That's important. So, okay. So with no further ado, we're going to start with a few people in the room, and then we'll switch over to Zoom. So we have Ramesh. It looks like Kapoor. C-A-P-O-P-U-R. Ah, perfect. All right. You're my first victim here. Have a seat.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I'll be, and just so you know, I'll probably be adjusting a lot of these things and looking on the screens, but we're just trying to make sure we get all of your comments on the record so the commissioners can read it. They're the real audience here, and I'll be paying attention as much as I can, but I got a lot of stuff going on here. So first, let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you need to speak into there. Okay. And let me just say off the record, can people hear? Just give us a test of your microphone.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. All right, great. That's good. Okay.
I can be louder.
That's okay. All right, so get on the record. So give us your name and your comment.
My name is Ramesh Kapoor.
Go ahead.
That's it. I'm the president of Kapoor & Associate Consulting Engineers in Milwaukee. I just want to give my observation about what kind of firm Wisconsin Electric is. I started my company 42 years ago in Milwaukee. We are consulting engineers and we perform infrastructure, primarily planning, design, and construction of infrastructure projects. Part of our services is we do design of water main, sewer systems, wastewater plants, highways, roads, bridges. About 15 years, I started the company 42 years ago, just myself. So about 15 years ago, I started thinking about that I got to take the company in a different direction. And part of that was that we want to get involved with the power system, energy projects. But I had no experience, the company had no experience at that time. But our first break came in about 10 plus years ago. There was a project, we were asked by a contractor to work on a project. It was a glacier wind farm project in Columbia, Fond du Lac County. And the work we performed on the project based for the contractor was doing some roadway design, some site work. But at that project, we came in contact with the Wisconsin Electric people. So this was our opportunity to introduce ourselves to them on that project. So I asked them that if there is any gas or electric work coming down the pipe, we would like to be asked for proposals or submit our qualification. Just luck would have it, about a year ago, they had a big project in it's called West Central Project. And it was 75 miles of gas main design. And we have not even done it 1 mile. So they sent us a proposal for qualification, which we submitted. After that, they came to our office, they interviewed us. It was a long interview, but they liked our approach, how we are going to do that project. But there were 3 other nationwide firms that we were competing against. And all these 3 firms had a lot more experience than we had. We had none, But they liked our approach and they had apprehension giving us a project. I would have it too if it was me at their place. But they asked us to come over to their office, following 2 more times, and they asked a lot of questions. They just wanted to make sure that we can do the project. So after about a couple of months answering their questions, they started us with the first phase of the project to do the data gathering. And this was a 75-mile long project. It took us about a year, little over a year and a half to pick up all the data, which is the properties. But before we started the project, they told us, that their priorities on any work we do for them is make sure customer is satisfied. So we had to inform every property owner on the 75-mile route when we are coming, what we are going to be doing. And the second was, it got to be a quality work and it got to be done on time. And the last was it got to be competitive price, which we being only the local company, we could do that. So we did that project in about a year and a half and they liked it. Then they gave us the next phase, which was the design. Now we have never done any design, as I mentioned before, but we have done a lot of water main, a lot of the sewer. The technology and the work is the same, but the requirements are different, project requirements. And I really, really appreciate them that their staff was helping them along the way because we had no gas experience, though we know how to do the project, but we didn't have gas experience. So people were helping us along the way. And we did that project. It took us about another year plus to do that. And after that, they gave us the big piece, which is a main, which is a construction, which was close to $100 million construction. Now, as I mentioned, 42 years, that time I was in business 30 years, this was the largest project ever we got in our history. So it took us about 2 years to do the construction and it was done on time, under budget. And that was the start for us. Now, what that did to us, this kind of project did to a small firm like ours, Since then, we have done some other projects for them in the gas main, but we built up a portfolio. About 4 years ago, Madison Gas and Electric hired us to do the work based on what we did for we. Now we have gone to Commonwealth Edison in Chicago. They are considering of us work. We are going to do power. So all I want to tell you here that this is the firm. They are very good to the minority small companies. They make an effort, and the proof is right here that they gave us. And we, in the last 10 years, we have hired 100 people in our company just doing the gas and power division work. Not only this work, about a year ago, they contacted us. They are with MATC and Milwaukee Public School System. Along with us, they built a facility. It's an online training facility. Right now, there is a labor shortage. You can't find people to do power lines, building the power line. So we are in association with MATC and Milwaukee Public Schools and We Energy. They built a building there, built a training center for the inner city students. The building is on 30th and North Avenue. They really care for the little guy. That's all I want to tell you, that the building is built. We have selected 5 Milwaukee Public Schools students. They are going to MATC. This is a 30 hours credit for learning the work online. It's coursework. They come to our office. We train them how to do the plans. And after that, once they complete that, then they go on the site on 30th and North Avenue where there are power poles. They will be stretching the lines, power lines. And once they complete that, we will be putting them, they're Kapoor employees, but we'll be putting them on We Energy project. The starting salary for this job is $70,000. Now, this is how you take the poor people out of poverty. So first go around, we have 5 students, and this is the ongoing project from here on. So the company I'm talking about here today is Wisconsin Electric. Now we are also working on a Microsoft project, and most of us know, they're coming in Mount Pleasant. And the power requirement for data center for Microsoft is 1,000 megawatt, which is, we doesn't have it right now. I know that. They're decommissioning Oak Creek coal power plant. They're spending money in the renewable energy in solar. We're trying to get that work. We haven't succeeded yet, but someday we probably will get a shot on that too. But they're spending money in the state for the betterment of the people and the public and the state and the businesses. But the money has to come from somewhere. Spending money on the renewable, along with meeting public requirement also with the Microsoft. So I think whatever they're asking, I sincerely feel they deserve it. It's a company which does not spend money, does not waste money. We compete for every project we get them. It's not they hand us the project. Every project we finish one, we compete for the second one. So we have to keep our pencil sharp. We do good work, and they know what we do. So with that, that I just wanted to just mention that, that what they are asking is, I think is, they should be granted. I have some clippings, for this training facility, what they build on 30th and North Avenue. I'll just leave it here. I'll just leave it here.
That's fine. Great, thanks.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming. All right, we'll take the next person who's in person here. Looks like Charlotte Bonilla. And just have you take a seat. I do have to make one technical adjustment. Okay, hang on. You notice we're not really able to see the faces too well on here. That should do it. Okay, so which one of you is Christina? Is that
Charlotte.
Charlotte? Why did I say Christina? Okay, and are you here
I'm in support.
in support? Okay, that's fine. So we, well, let me just ask off the record. So do you plan on speaking?
No.
No. Okay, so we'll have to mute it on the record. Okay. All right, so to take on the record, let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, great.
Fantastic. My name is Charlotte Bonilla, and I'm the president of Interforce. I'm here with Marie O'Brien, who's the former.
Can't hear you in the back. Okay, yeah, go
Is
ahead.
that on now? Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Everyone's a little different. There you go.
All right. My name is Charlotte Bonilla, and I'm the president of Interforce. I'm here with Marie O'Brien, who's the former CEO and chair emeritus. Interforce is WEC Energy Group of Companies managed services provider. We're a minority-owned and certified business that focuses on cost savings while supplying the top talent in the market back to the business. Between Marie and I, we have worked with We Energies and WEC Energy Group of Companies as a whole for over 15 years. Throughout this partnership, the continued commitment that WEC Energy Group of Companies makes to further invest in the diverse business community and keep an eagle eye on cost savings has truly been a remarkable achievement. They have been a pioneer in the market with a focus on the communities they serve while procuring top talent at a fair cost. We can honestly say that their partnership with Interforce has truly been immeasurable and is really tough to beat. So thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, we'll call one more person in the room, Karen Peterson, and then we'll move on to Zoom. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Looks like we're not getting any complaints back there. So. All right, go ahead with your comment. I'll give us your name and comment.
Sure. My name is Karen Peterson, and I live in River West. I recently moved here. I'm from Wisconsin. I grew up in Madison, but I haven't lived here since the 90s. I retired this spring, and I moved back to Milwaukee. So I'm a retiree, and what that means is I live on a fixed income. And what that means is that every year, the value of my income is eroded by inflation. And it's also the case with electric bills that they're not a luxury, they're a necessity. And here in Wisconsin, unlike other places I've lived, electricity means not only lights, but heat. So it's a matter of life and death for people to be able to pay these electric bills. And when the costs go up, of course, the cost falls hardest on the poor. I myself am not poor though, thank God. So I'm here to speak a little more for the impact on the middle class, especially the middle class retirees. So I moved here, I was hoping to buy a condo, and if I moved here 2 years ago, I would have been able to. Now, with the interest rates, there's nothing for sale. And so I've had to put that off. So I'm renting. And I can't, as a renter, you can't buy a heat pump, most cases. You can't buy new windows. You can't buy solar panels. You can't do a lot of things to bring down costs. So you're kind of at the mercy of whatever these costs are. And like I said, even though I was blessed to have good professional employment, I am middle class. However, I have very little in the way of savings, no investments. I have a small pension, and I was able to save enough to hopefully put down a payment, what's the word? A down payment on a condo. And that's kind of all I have. And I'm trying to save that for that dream that someday I can be a homeowner. So it really does affect me personally if these prices go up. And not only this year, but next year, the year after. Again, I can't go without lights. I can't go without heat. So that money's going to have to come out of somewhere else, and eventually could very well be coming out of the food budget. I could stand to lose some weight, but I would not like it to be. Okay. So, and I also understand, again, I'm new in Wisconsin on this particular tour. I have lived here before. But I know that We Energies got a rate increase already early this year. Most people don't get 2 pay increases in a year, frankly. But they got that, and now they're back asking for another one. I also understand that the rates here are high compared to other states and places. And I didn't expect that when I came to Wisconsin. A lot of things here are cheaper than in New York where I used to live, which is one of the reasons that I am here, I must say, although I love it here. I don't really understand the rationale for the requested increase. I don't think that they should receive it. I'm sure that there's a lot of other things that they can do as a very profitable company, and that we as a society can do and must do to provide this service, which again is not a luxury, but is a matter of life and death, that it can be provided. And just one last thing, I mean, I didn't have a choice in providers. I rented this apartment, lovely apartment in River West, but the electric is We Energies. I didn't have the choice to find a cheaper provider or anything else. It's monopoly. And monopolies in the society, again, really need to have regulation on what they can charge, because the people who have to pay don't have a choice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to switch to Zoom for, we'll do 3 and 3. Let's see if that works. But we have, and you're just going to hear the Zoom person. I don't have a big screen for you guys, but we're going to try James Butcher next. And I'm going to spotlight you for the live stream. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, I'm going to swear you in and then ask you to state and spell your name so the court reporter can get that right on the record right away. So is that okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay?
My name is James Buchan. It's spelled
I'm gonna
B as
swear
in
you.
boy, U-C-H-E-N as in Nancy.
Okay, all right, great, we got it. All right, so let me swear you in, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, so just before you start, can people hear this comment in the back? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right, well, thank you and good afternoon. My name is James Buchan. I serve as the executive director of the Wisconsin Utility Investors Organization. The Wisconsin Utility Investors is a membership organization comprised of individuals who own stock or shares in utilities that operate in our state. Our mission is to look after the interests of the 5,000 members that we have, as well as the 50,000 plus individuals in Wisconsin that own stock in utilities that operate in this state. I'm here today to testify in support of the proposed limited rate filing for Wisconsin Energy and Wisconsin Gas. This limited rate increase is necessary, I think, to finance new investments in renewable generation and natural gas infrastructure that are on an ongoing need, essentially. And without the modest rate increase asked for here, the company would be under significant financial pressure, and they may be forced to reduce dividends. And as a result, I think of all of that, investors are very likely to look elsewhere for a better return on their investments. There's lots of options in the marketplace. There's thousands of different stocks and bonds and mutual funds a person can invest in. They don't have to invest in Wisconsin utilities. So to the extent that the company becomes unattractive because the dividends are down or what have you, that's a potential problem. The company needs capital, and without equity capital from investors, they have to resort to borrowing, increased borrowing. And at today's higher interest rates, the prime rate having doubled in the last 3 years, ultimately ratepayers would wind up shouldering the burden of these increased borrowing at higher interest rates to make up for the loss of equity investment. For that reason, we think that the rate increase proposal suggested in this limited filing is in the best interest of both investors and ratepayers. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. I'm just going to mark that you commented. Great. Okay, so thanks. You can turn your screen and audio off, but you can stay on Zoom if you wish. So next person on our Zoom list. Oh, I think it's, it looks like Lynette Miller, but it starts, but your name starts with a 2, so it's 2 Lynette Miller. If you do wish to make a comment, please unmute and turn on your screen. Okay. Not seeing anything yet. How about Brad Gangel, G-A-N-G-E-L? Do you wish to make a comment? Jake Duncan. I'm sorry about the record. Yeah. James Duncan, do you wish to comment? I'm sorry, Jay Duncan. Jim Piat.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, this is Jim. Okay, great. Let me make a quick adjustment to my screen here. Okay. All right, so I'll swear you in and then give us your full name and your comment, please. So raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right.
P-I-A-T-T.
Sorry.
P-I-A-T-T.
T-T.
T-T. Okay,
Yes, thank
correct. Okay, all right, go ahead.
I'm the president of the Messemer Schools. I want to affirm We Energy's involvement in City of Milwaukee education for over a generation, for at least 3 decades, in supporting schools like ours to provide educational options in several different platforms and in several different manners, providing substantial partnership and support of educational programming, and including but not limited to support for students to develop in college-bound careers and in skilled trades and STEM-related fields. We Energy's partnership has been valuable to Messemer Schools for over 30 years, as we are in our 98th year on the north side of Milwaukee. We Energy has also provided expertise and talent from their executive and managerial staffs to help our board and our school administration become more effective. And this commitment, as I said, has been multi-decades long and highly valued by many families in Milwaukee for their children. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the comment. Okay, off the record, so we'll take one more comment on Zoom and we'll switch back to the room. Okay. Yeah, a few people are like, hey, why are we commenting? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I just want to be fair to everybody. And we don't have that many more on Zoom. There may be maybe 2 more, but we'll do 1 more for now. So we have a person whose screen name is NSPOO. I see you there. So when we get on, we'll just need you to state and spell your name, and just need to do a couple of adjustments here.
Okay.
Okay. And is there any, we want to get your full face on the screen, so let's make sure you can center that for us. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to swear you in, so raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so state and spell your name, please.
My first name is Nicole, Nicole. Last name is Spoon, Spoon.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
I just wanted to put in a comment against this rate increase. I do work for a local nonprofit here in Milwaukee. We do we help with energy assistance. And a lot of the customers that I have been dealing with have 20 to 25% energy burden. So for every dollar they make, a quarter is already going to the utility bills, which again, many of these people are renters, don't have the abilities to make the improvements in the home, and just have to continue to pay these high rates. With the profits that We Energies has posted in the last few years, I don't see a reason why consumers should be bearing an additional rate increase.
Okay, that's it. Thanks very much. Okay, so we'll turn now to in-room people. We have, looks like Cephas Miller, S-C-A-P-H-E-S. There you go. Good afternoon. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, so give us your name and comment, please.
My name is Cephas Miller, and I am in favor of the proposed rate increase. I'm a professional engineer. I've been an engineer for about 35 years.
We're gonna, yeah, if you just got a little closer now.
Okay. How is this?
Yeah.
That's better.
Okay. About 20 years ago, I started up my firm, Fusion Integrated Solutions, to provide engineering and design services for a variety of industries, trying to capitalize on the fill a gap that was being formed by the number of engineers who were exiting the workforce at that point. And my wife and I moved here in 2006, and we bought a condo to start out with because we didn't really know where we wanted to live. After our second child, we were forced into buying a home. We kept the condo, and that's where I worked. And then I also purchased a facility in Green Bay, which is where a large part of my operations is. So I'm very invested in the Wisconsin community. And about in 2006, 2007, I started working with We Energies and WEC Energy Group to help give back to our community, because we were doing projects all over the world and creating value for a lot of companies all over the world. And our company, we really wanted to give back to our community and see what we could do to help the people who live and work in the communities in which we lived and worked. So we started working with We Energies, and very similar to Kapoor, we didn't have a lot of experience in the energy industry. We had developed most of our skill set by working in the pulp, paper, and food and beverage industries. But working with We Energies and working with their engineers and their staff, they gave us the opportunity to translate our skill set and expand those to their very large power generation facilities. As We Energies has grown, we've grown with them. We've been one of their key owners, engineers since 2008. And as they've invested in their facilities, whether it's to meet more stringent DNR regulations or meet OSHA regulations, we've been right there with them, helping them develop those projects. As they pivoted to provide more sustainable energy and providing solar panels, wind systems, hydro facilities, we've been right there with them as well. So their values are very much in line with my company's values, which is safety first and foremost, providing reliable and quality products and services. And We Energies and WPS and the entities that we work with certainly provide that, as well as trying to create value and minimize costs, because we understand the life cycle of costs. Throughout the pandemic, we were right there with the WEC Energy group of companies, and they told us, They were going to be an essential service and they could not shut down. And we worked with them throughout the entire pandemic to figure out how do we continue to provide the engineering service so that their end product, their service could translate to their customers. And we were very proud that we were very successful. We were very safe. We helped them create a quality and sustainable product throughout a very tough time for all of us. Coming out of the pandemic, we're a microcosm of society. We started to see the impacts of engineers, senior engineers continuing to exit the workforce, with very few younger engineers entering the workforce to replace them. And we started to see, and still continue to see, what we would consider hyperinflation. These salaries that are being commanded by engineers coming out of the universities that we recruit from MSOE, UW-Madison, a lot of local institutions, are really encroaching on the salaries that we pay engineers who've been in the industry for 40 years. And so we work very much diligently to manage those salaries, because we know that we can't pass on that cost to WC Energy Group and our other clients, because they can't pass on all of that cost to their customers. But there is a significant amount of hyperinflation going on because of the supply chain. Many folks have heard about the issues that have been because not being able to get equipment and parts from overseas. That has put a tremendous amount of pressure on our system to provide lower cost and less expensive equipment to keep the power flowing and keep it going in a safe manner. Unfortunately, that too comes with a pretty high price tag. So while I don't know all of the details associated with the price increase, what I do know is what we're seeing and what we're doing on behalf of WEC Energy Group and its family of companies to help them keep pricing down. I've been in those meetings with them where they have been very tough but fair, and making sure that we were doing everything that we could do on their behalf to keep pricing down. So those are some of the reasons why I'm in support of the price hike, because I know that the what's going on in the industry is real.
Thanks very much. Okay, we'll take two more people from the room. So we have Senator Chris Larson next. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. All right. I just want to state your name and test out your mic here. Sure.
I am State Senator Chris Larson, representing the 7th Senate District and my 172,000 neighbors within it. Appreciate you being here. Commissioner Huebner, appreciate you being here, and all the members of the public. Very adamantly opposed to the continued greed of We Energies and their latest attempt at taking more money from consumers. So very much opposed to this. Right now, Wisconsin does not have any binding rules regarding utilities' 5-year plans when it comes to renewable energy. Other states use integrated resource planning, something we could and should do here, so that the regulatory bodies can make sure utilities keep their promises. Wisconsin doesn't. As a result, customers are largely at the whim of utilities on whether they meet their clean energy promises. We Energies continues to move the goalpost of when they are planning to achieve renewable energy. And it seems in this case, they are waiting until their rate increases are again approved for 2024 before they announce whether they're going to keep their promise to retire the coal burning operation in Oak Creek as scheduled in 2024 and 2025. This is in the heart of my community in Oak Creek and has been helping increase the rates of asthma and lung problems in the neighborhoods around it. The longer they wait, the more our residents' health is at risk. and the harder it is to swallow these constant annual rate increases. They say they're raising costs because of clean energy investments, but all I see is them dragging their feet on the transition to clean, renewable energy yet again.
Yes.
For the second year in a row, We Energies is proposing electric rate increases for residential customers that dwarf the proposed increases for corporate customers. If approved this fall, the 2-year increase in rates would be as follows: 14.4% for residential customers, 11.2% for small business customers, 9.7% for industrial firms and large customers. 2023 electric rate increase was 11.3% for residential and 7.8% for industrial. This, on top of We Energies having a 9.8% guaranteed return on equity. Citizen advocates do not think the cost to retire coal plants should be factored into that 9.8% guaranteed return on equity. The Oak Creek power plant is scheduled to close in 2024 and 2025 after being delayed once already. And We Energies plans to end all coal, says they plan to end all coal power generation by 2035, but that deadline continues to be punted further and further into the future as it gets closer. The claims that they are going to keep it open, possibly for a data center in Foxconn, is worth just as much as the lie that the original Foxconn was built on. Right now, all clean energy plans are based on the utility's 5-year plans, and no enforcement mechanism is in state statute. But what we can do is say no to this rate increase. To back up, the main argument for private ownership of utilities is that the private profit motive is supposed to improve efficiency and reduce cost for consumers. The only people that is true for seems to be those who use the most energy, large corporations and large customers. The 9.8% guaranteed return for We Energies executives is the definition of efficiency for residential customers. Wisconsin has some of the highest rates in the Midwest, despite being among the slowest to adopt renewable energy. Granted, we need to give the power to the PSC for them to have the ability to enforce 5-year plans that are put forward to protect residential customers from subsidizing the cost of generating power for Fortune 500 companies. Something that is called integrated resource planning, which I mentioned earlier. Long-term, we should look at publicizing energy utilities or expanding the use of cooperatives so citizens, not shareholders, are the primary beneficiaries. When it comes to renewable energy, the future of human civilization is more important than padding investors' pockets with guaranteed gains. The Inflation Reduction Act was a huge step at the federal level, but Wisconsin can and should be leading on renewable energy solutions. So while we can't implement an integrated resource planning plan yet, the least that the PSC can do now is reject the continued money grab. Yes. Last year, when I attended the hearing, I think you were all there, we had 1,180 comments. Of those, 12 were in favor, and yet they were able to move forward with a huge increase. It is abhorrent to think that they are coming back for another turn at the buffet that is the poor who are having to pay these bills without coming to the table with actually doing something on renewable energy or making it more affordable for our consumers. So encourage you to reject this and to demand better from our utilities. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Thanks very much. Let's go off the record for a second. So the other ground rules that I forgot to mention, but didn't really have to before, was that it's essential that we do not interrupt comments with statements from the audience. So just want people to be able to give their comment and feel free and not intimidated when they do so. And interrupting also would distract the court reporter, so we end up not collecting the comment accurately. So even if you agree with the comment, comment may end up hurting your, please stay silent during the comments or make reactions after the comments, just because it's in a unbiased way and able to make their comment known to the commission. Read the signs, you don't hear them. I'll let signs and don't people walking around and shaking them around because that's distracting to me. And I got to pay attention to everything here, so appreciate it. All right, so we have one more person in. I'll take my list. One more person here for in-house, Rosetta Lane. There we go. How did you get this far into the list? I don't know. Have a seat, please. Ian, hi. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Yes. All right, give us your name and let's test out your mic. We need those.
Rosetta Lane?
Okay, can we hear back there? No?
Can't hear me?
You can turn it up. How's that?
Can you hear me now?
That's better. Okay, let's get on the record. Go ahead.
I'm gonna piggyback off of Senator Larson. In my hand, I'm holding all these estimated bills. I can only find some of them. I couldn't find them all. From last year, October into May of this year, I got estimated bills. I kept calling We Energy asking, where's my actual bills? Where are my actual bills? Got the runaround. Your meter's in the basement. No, it's not. It's outside. You're gonna get a credit. When they finally came out, gave me the excuses. My meter's on the side of the house. He could have got right out of his truck, came up and read my meter, and gave me an actual reading. You're gonna get a credit on your bill. Never got that credit. So my question, or my term is, they actually all these actual readings that they estimated readings, that they put money back in their pocket. Now they want to increase these bills. How many actual readings are they getting? They put money in their pocket. Now they want to increase this money. They probably got thousands of people that they estimating these bills. They put money in their pocket. Now they want to increase the $4 more that they estimating people's bills. They're gonna put more money back in their pocket. You're talking about stocks? This is only just a few of these bills that they estimated my bills on. I called the PSC and they told me that they can estimate bills as long as they want to, how long they want to. And I have to pay that bill. They're gonna cut my gas off. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm against the pay increase because they can estimate my bill as long as they want to, how long they want to. What can I do about it? This winter money's coming up. They're gonna estimate my bill as long as they want to, how long they want to, and I gotta pay that bill. So how many other people in this room they gonna estimate and charge them that extra $4 more? There's nothing we can do about it but pay that bill when they increase that $4 more. That's all I got to say.
So I do want to mention, we do have a room as you walk into the building, the conference room. Right now it'll be on your left side. There's a commission staff there to help out with individual bill problems and issues with signing up for customer assistance, low income payment plans. I don't believe the utility has a representative there, but the staff does. So the staff can help you with individual bill issues. So we have that resource here for you today. All right, so that was 3 for here. So let's pull our Zoom community here. Let's go off the record. So new people, we have Samsung, who has their hand raised. So I wanted to ask you if you wanted to make a comment.
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So let me just adjust a couple things here before we do that. Spotlight you. All right. Okay, so I think we're good to go. So I'm going to swear you in, and if you could state and spell your name for us, and then go ahead with your comment. So raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, and your name, please.
Charles Capoulas, Copoulos.
Okay, can we hear in the back? Yeah, okay. I can't really tell from here, so I'm gonna just keep asking you. All right, go ahead with your comment, thanks.
All right. We've been fortunate enough to be able to cut back on our energy use by doing all the things that you're supposed to do. Replace your light bulbs, turn off the lights when you go out, make sure that your refrigerator coils are cleaned, keep our temperature low on the for heat and for air conditioning. And we've been fortunate. We've installed some solar panels on our roof. And one of the things that I noticed is that we're charged about half a cent per kilowatt hour, and what we produce and sell back to the energy company credit less than 10% of that half cent in the power that we produce. And I'm sure that the amount of energy that's being produced privately and sold back to We Energies has got to be a lot higher this year than it has been in the previous 5 years or so. So not only do we need to not have increases in what we pay, it would be nice to have increases in what we get credit for our energy production.
Is that it? Anything else, Dan?
Yes, we are retired. We have, we're limited income actually, and we decided to spend the money on trying to help We Energies with their energy production, and we don't feel that it's fair to the customers, us and others who are having struggle with bills, to have this increase after last year's large increase. And again, that small amount that we get returned in credit for our production. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much. Okay, moving on our list here, somebody new, looks like Capricia Baker. I'm going to turn on your video and mic if you wish to speak. Go ahead. Do you have your video on? Oh, I see it here. Okay. Did you want to speak? You'll have to unmute.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Do one little thing while before you get started. I'm just going to try to turn the screen around so people can actually see you in the room.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't think. I have two screens in front of me. It's always new.
How do I do this?
It's going to be small, but that's all we can do here. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to do it, so I'm going to turn my camera to my. Can you see me?
No, you were good. You were good. Yeah, just keep it where you did. Yeah, perfect. I turned my screen around in the room.
Oh.
Yeah, see. Okay, great. So where were we? So I'm going to swear you in and then get your name and have you give us your comments. So raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, great. And can people hear in the back? Yeah, okay, go ahead. So name and comment, please.
I'm Capricia Baker, and I just want to see, I agree with some of the other guys in there. They're saying, why are we getting another hike increase in our energy bill when they just did an 11% increase? Plus, with the inflation right now, my bills are kind of pinned out on what my wages are. And I don't understand why we have to keep going while we're struggling to try to pay our bills in a timely fashion just to keep getting increases. And nothing is like beneficial to us. And like you said, a low increase, the low tax return that they give us on that credit for is like, why?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to say. I don't agree with it. I just don't understand why we keep getting having to pay for this. And We Energy make a lot of money, why they can't use these resources from other places to pay for these sources that they're trying to improve.
Okay, well, thanks. I appreciate the comment.
Thank you.
Okay. So, okay, let's mark her as my comment. So I don't see many more people on Zoom. I think I've asked everyone once, but let me just check. Lynette Miller, did you wish to comment? And I think that's, and you know, you're on the list, so 620 WTMU. If you don't wish to comment, just don't unmute anything. I just want to make sure I ask everyone, because everyone is on the list. Yeah, give me a job. Okay, so I think that's it. So, all right, we'll turn back to the people in the room. So you probably don't need that screen anymore, but that's okay. So let's call Steve Katursky. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. What's your name and comment?
Yes, my name is Steve Katursky, spelled it Kwaterski. I'm the Political and Communications Director for the Wisconsin Laborers District Council. My work address is 4633 Liuna, you spell that Liuna, Way, Suite 101, DeForest, Wisconsin 53532. The Wisconsin Laborers District Council is an affiliation of 5 labor local unions representing nearly 9,000 construction craft laborers throughout Wisconsin. The laborers are the most diverse trade in the construction industry, servicing employers in transportation infrastructure, building, sewer and water, energy construction, utility distribution, demolition, asbestos removal, and related sectors. On behalf of our union, I'm providing comment today in support of the We Energy's 2024 rate proposal, and we respectfully ask for the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin to approve the proposed rate increase, which is being driven by costs associated with new solar and natural gas projects. The investments in utility scale solar projects have made a significant step in transitioning our state's energy portfolio to green energy production, supporting the careers of existing LIUNA members, as well as helping spur the recruitment of new apprentices to work on our state's energy infrastructure. Our members are currently working at both the Paris Solar Project in Kenosha County, and have also recently started working at the Darien Solar Project, which is in Rock and Walworth counties. I wanted to provide some data from the Paris Solar Project that demonstrates the significant impact that We Energy's investments have made to bolster our state's workforce. LIUNA members first started working on the Paris Solar Project in April 2022, and through June of 2023, we have had 241 individual members of our union, of whom 45 were brand new apprentices working at this project. This has generated over 146,000 working hours for members of our union. This project is also contributing to our union's equity goals, where over half of the workforce is either African American or Latino. Lastly, 2/3 of the apprentices who were recruited and are now starting their careers as a member of our union and are earning while they learn while working on this project were either African American, Latino, or Indigenous Americans. In addition to the utility scale solar investments, We Energy's investments in liquefied natural gas facilities that are being constructed in Bluff Creek and Ixonia have created additional work opportunities, creating local jobs for our members and ensuring that we have a reliable supply of natural gas to meet the need of Wisconsin residents and businesses. We just need to look back to last December and the equipment failure that occurred out of state, which required us to lower our thermostats to conserve natural gas. The new LNG facilities will help ensure a reliable supply of natural gas for ratepayers in case we ever have future supply disruptions. And our union is proud to have played a part in the construction of these facilities to help bolster our state's energy infrastructure. I'd like to thank the Public Service Commission today for the opportunity to provide comments on behalf of my union. And again, we respectfully ask that you approve the proposed rate increase. Thank you.
Hey, thanks very much. We'll continue on the in-room people here. David Poquette. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. So name and comment, please.
My name's Dave Bocat. And first of all, I'm very disappointed that We Energy's rep isn't here to provide justifications and charts for their reasons for approving this. According to, as someone else mentioned, according to NPR and other newspapers, We Energies has the highest rates in the state, and they had record profits. They should, what they've done, I don't believe that they should be paying for that, or we have to pay for this rate for these increases, and I think they should be able to take it out of their profits. In addition, I'd like to know what, with these reports, I'd like to know what have they done with the 11% increase that they did. Showing that to the actual public would actually be a big help. And what's their justification? Yes, they can say that we need it for solar, but what is the actual dollars and cents of justification for the 3% increase that they're going to plan on doing for the rate for this? You guys see that information, the public doesn't. And we're the ones that have to pay for it. So I don't believe that they should receive the rate increase at all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for your comment. So moving off the record just for a second, I do want to mention, and I don't dispute that you're not getting that information directly, but I do want to point out that on the appearance slip and also the notice of hearing, there is a hyperlink and a QR code where you can go to the commission's website and see all the documents that were filed in the case. That's maybe cold comfort for you, but it is available to see on your own the documents that were filed on all sides, the interveners and the applicant and commission staff's position.
You just took the sheets from me, so now I don't have that QR code to go home and look at.
Okay, you can grab another sheet on your way out. We have plenty more. So you can get a fresh copy. Yeah, that's not a problem. Okay, just want to point that out for everyone that those documents are available. Of course, they're presented by the technical people on all sides of the case. So it's not really meant for public consumption, but it's out there for everyone to view. So it's called Will Ohm. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Go ahead.
Is this a good distance for everybody?
Yeah.
My name is Will Ohm, and I'd like to speak out against this. I think a rate increase, is something that affects the population across the state equally, but not equitably. By increasing it by one relatively fixed dollar amount for everybody, it kind of forces all of that load onto the people who are least able to afford it, especially as those who are least able to afford it aren't the type to be able to afford insulation or other things to help preserve their energy in their homes, especially for dangerous winter time in the state. I don't know the number, but I know a couple hundred people die every year of cold in this state, and I don't want that to keep going on. It's just not a fair statement to push that onto the common people of the state rather than having We Energies or investors shoulder that burden when the common people of the state already can't afford it. Like even that $4, $3 that they're talking about adding just isn't something that so many people can afford. 10% of the state lives in poverty, 24% of Milwaukee lives in poverty. It's just not tenable. Thank you.
Thanks very much. All right, we'll move on to Daryl Johnson. affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
All right. Name and comment.
Daryl Johnson, first name is spelled Darryl Johnson. I'm here just to kind of talk about partnerships and opportunities that we have worked with. I run a nonprofit organization called RivWorks Development Corporation, and we've been around since 1992. We work in 2 neighborhoods, which is River West and Harambe, but we also have programs that operate citywide. And the thing I want to share is earlier when our organization was started, in the Harambe area, American Motors was a major employer within the area, along with Johnson Controls and other employers. So when they left the neighborhood, they took with them over 6,000 jobs. And so we had the opportunity to work with a number of partnerships and partners to really kind of revitalize this area. And We Energy was one of those major corporations who stepped up because we had the responsibility of selling off 38 acres of land for reuse, some went to commercial use, some went to light manufacture. And We Energy was there to help to support our organization and other entities within the communities. And during that time, they also have supported other programs that we operate around financial literacy, providing that knowledge to individuals and also to small businesses. They have also helped us around workforce development, so they've been a major supporter in giving us funding to help people get back into the workforce. They've been involved in a number of development projects that we have done within the neighborhood, which has led to a number of commercial buildings that have been done. And we just recently finished one up, which is a coffee shop on Richards and Keefe, and they was a major funder of that project. So they have put money back into the community on many different levels, supporting nonprofits and also supporting those programs that are important to the neighborhood. So I just want to say they are a great partner and they have been giving back to the community over a lot of years.
Yeah, thanks very much. Eugene Nelson. There you go. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. Name and comment, please.
My name is Eugene Nelson, E-U-G-E-N-E, Nelson, N-E-L-S-O-N. I'd like to preface my comment by first of all saying that I apologize for being very passionate and supporting Senator Larson. So I was one of those individuals who were saying yes as I agreed very passionately with his position. And I also want to thank you for an opportunity to listen to my comment, because what I've heard since I've been here has been really a tale of 2 cities. I've heard individuals from the corporate level who supports this rate increase. And then I hear from those individuals like myself, who is a homeowner in 53206, one of the most distressed zip codes in the United States of America. But I also serve as a case manager and FSET coordinator, FSET standing for Food Share Employment and Training Coordinator. So the work that I do is outreach work, and I'm boots to the ground, 10 toes down, throughout the week, working with individuals who are disenfranchised, underserved, and as a result, I see how hard it is for individuals in my community to pay utility bills, and particularly after the pandemic, because there were a lot of safeguards during the pandemic for renters, and after those safeguards were taken away, the burden fell on the renters in terms of a lot of them being evicted, and a lot of them suffering in terms of being below the poverty level and having to pay additional costs. Because as you know, as everyone in this room knows, food went up, prices went up, and now We Energies is asking for more money. And I respectfully understand the individuals who are supporting We Energies as it relates to them giving back to the community, but I'm certain that they will have more than enough money and profit to continue to give back to our community because it's well-deserved and our community needs that. So I'm here to oppose a rate increase on behalf of those individuals who are underserved, who are disenfranchised, and who are still struggling after the pandemic. And I don't see why, as it had been mentioned, that our state has such a high increase in these rates. And then yet last year, you guys asked for an increase, and now they're doubling up. And it's gonna be such a burden. And this will be my last comment, and particularly, why are you doing it when it's gonna be wintertime? And there's cases every year of individuals who can't afford heat, so they use some type of electrical heater, and as a result, there's a fire and there's death, and it's documented. So I oppose this, and I know that, back to that tale of two cities, I understand that we need renewable energy and solar, but please remember the little people, those individuals who really need an opportunity to not be subjected to this rate increase.
Thanks for your comment. I do appreciate your passion on this. All right, let's move on to Brian Burden.
Hello, good afternoon.
How you doing? I'm going to swear you in, so raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
The double truth.
All right, there you go. Give us your name and comment.
My name is Brian Verdeen.
Can you hear guys in the back? Okay, let's get closer to the mic.
Yeah. I've lived about 3 minutes from here for the past 48 years in the great Harambe community. Come here actually reluctantly, because I'm not even sure my voice will be heard. And I'm certain a lot of people figure, why bother? You guys are gonna do what you want to do anyway. I really appreciate Senator Larson, his remarks and his steadfastness on behalf of the citizens is really refreshing. We need more representatives like him. The last time I was in this room, I came and many of us testified against a increase in our taxes, probably 8-1. And lo and behold, those representatives didn't hear us and they voted to raise our taxes with the exception of 3 older people. And then to hear that there was a hearing last year, again, why bother coming? And 1,200 people spoke against an increase and 12 for, and you increased it anyway? So I'm not sure you're really unbiased anyway. You know what, you hear me?
I'm listening.
All right. I think that this hearing was poorly publicized. If you had give people enough advance notice, I'm certain this room will be overflowing. I know you're gonna do it again at 6 o'clock. I'm doing my best to let people know, but I'm not sure you're gonna be wasting their time too, because it's already been documented. 1,200 folks say no, and 12 say yes, and y'all go ahead and raise it anyway. I've been battling with We Energies for 50 years. My children call me the plastic man. I put up shower curtains all over my house behind curtains so you can't see them. I believe in keeping the heat. I keep my thermostat at 68. I've had my house insulation blown in. I've got a new water boiler. I've got a new energy efficient water heater. Guess what? My rates were higher last year than they were before I got all of that stuff. Why? Because of the increase. It's a losing battle. It's a losing battle. I am on a fixed income. I can't afford this. In fact, you need to tell We Energy to lower their rates. back to whenever it was somehow, payable. Actually, the real solution is to have public ownership of the utility companies. That's the real solution. I think I don't know if Baroque does it anymore, but town of Baroque actually, I don't know if they do it anymore, but I know 50 years ago they did. They had public ownership of the utilities. So the real issue is public ownership. These utilities need to be taken over by the public, because what's the profit rate? How much are the CEOs and the leadership, the executives of We Energy, tell them cut their profits instead of the people? You keep nodding your head, but I'm not sure you're feeling me, And you seem like a real nice guy, but again, 12, you PSC too? Okay, so you call yourself Public Service Commission. We want you to serve the public, not the corporations, okay? So if you're really a public service corporation, let We Energies know we've had enough. We can't take it no more. It's a monopoly. I know they say they're coming back next year anyway for another increase, electric or something like that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't go anywhere every summer because I have to save what little bit I don't pay on We Energies. I have to save that during the summer so I can pay them in the winter. I know. You laugh and keep them crying. I know. So, again, you're gonna do this kind of stuff, please give the public advance real notice. I just heard on the radio this morning, I was like, okay, I'm 3 minutes away, I better get down here. My friend said, yeah, you should go. My heart said, it ain't gonna matter. Right? So you're truly unbiased, listen to the people, not these corporate people, the suits and ties people. I'm just a little disappointed my brother from the unions went against his union brothers and sisters, the ones who are down here on the ground really getting hurt. So anyway, my solution is public ownership. Tell that to We Energies, okay? Tell them we're taking over. The state of Wisconsin is taking over. We're buying you out, and we're gonna stop screwing the people. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for your time. All right, Natalie Pearson. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Name and comment, please.
All right. My name is Natalie Pearson, NataliePierson. And I'm here to represent myself and a campaign called Power to the People to publicize We Energies. And I'm against the price hike. I've been door knocking for the last 5 months to get public ownership, and with that experience every week, hearing people's stories, I've just hated We Energies more and more. It's so unjust how much with all the inflation, like people are saying, with food going up, rent going up, having energy bills go up as well, which is very essential. It's just too much for common folks. And so that's, I guess we'll leave it at that. But if people in the room want to hear more about how we can use Chapter 197, which is already a state law, to get public power, please reach out with me. Thanks.
Thank you. Jacqueline Jones. Might be James. I'm not be seeing that correctly. Jacqueline. Jacqueline, did you want to make a comment? I'll just put this on the side in case you change your mind. Wherever the side is here. Jeff Store or Stone? Oh, there he is. Jeff Stone. I know Jeff Stone. There we go. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. First, I want to preface my remarks by thanking the Commission, Public Service Commission, Commissioner Hubner, and the staff that are here today. I had the privilege to be a part of the Public Service Commission in the past as an administrator. And utility rates are one of the most complicated things that our government does. It has to weigh so many different elements, balance things for consumers, for economic development, for health and well-being. And I want to thank the folks that came out here and give an opportunity for the public to take part in this process. Usually in government, and the other thing I want to mention is that I've been an elected official, both at the state level and the local level, and it's challenging. And I think we're in a more challenging time than I've ever seen. But to come out, making sure that there are opportunities for the public to be heard and to factor that into the decision-making, I just want to thank the staff of our state that play those roles. Thank you for what you do. When it comes to utilities in this particular case, we're looking at We Energy's request to continue to blend in a mix of renewable power sources into our power supply. And that's an area that many in our state are demanding that we have. And We Energies has made progress on that point. I think we've heard a little bit about some of the power sources, solar and wind resources that are being brought to bear, as well as also alternative sources like natural gas. Those all take money to develop. And utility companies, not unlike the rest of us, aren't immune to the inflation that we're all experiencing. So they have to struggle to say, how do we deliver those improvements that are being requested by many in our community and do it with the resources. The commission is there left, weighing those balances of the costs of those improvements, those changes. 20 plus years ago, we were saying, how do we have enough power to make sure we don't have blackouts? And that's when the commission moved forward on, a plan to increase coal power. Now we're saying, how do we move away from coal power and use some of these alternative sources? And it takes money, but we know there's public health benefits and other things that will accrue to us if we do that. We also need power storage because those alternative fuels don't work the same way. So we need a place, we have to create battery storage, other resources that will hold that new alternative energy and make it available so that we have a reliable system. The role I served in at the PSC, we were responsible for a lot of those concerns about whether people had power in the winter. And there are rules about shutting off electric power in the winter or water. And I truly believe that the folks that work in that area, they're public servants that want to make sure people are safe, and they don't have a lack of heat or water that would put them at risk. And so anyone who's having that problem, I encourage you to reach out to the PSC. There's a Consumer Affairs Division that will take your concerns to heart, and they will work with the utilities to make sure that's done. I mentioned we're looking at alternate generation in our state, and that's going to mean we retire coal. And what happens is if that isn't done right, you have the situation that somebody alluded to earlier, like we had in Texas, where they don't have a grid that's properly structured and has the right resources, and you don't have power. And there's nothing worse, it was bad enough in Texas. And I tell you what, I lived further south in Wisconsin, and you don't want to be without power in Wisconsin in January like they were in Texas. The one thing I will give in my experience in dealing with them on consumer affairs is it's one of the most reliable utilities in the country. And I think we need to appreciate the value of that. And I think that's important. I know that while unfortunately there are cases where people suffer because they don't have heat or power, I think that overall we have a utility here that's done their best to make sure that it's reliable. And I know that in the 35 years that I've lived in the state, I can only think of one time where there was a prolonged outage, and that was a large disaster, and they addressed it, I believe, in short order as best they could in a very challenging situation. So finally, the other element that we have to take into concern, I think we've heard some of the people addressing that, is economic development. There are a few things in the world right now, in my experience, that are really key to the health of our economy in the state. One of them is water, And Wisconsin is blessed. We have a great water supply near Lake Michigan. And the other thing that really is important is energy. And I think that we are poised to continue, if we do the right investments, to improve that mix of energy production in our state, to go with the water resources we have that will create wealth and economic health for more of our citizens. So that's why I'm supporting this plan today. It allows for us to move forward on goals that many in our state have for renewable energy. It allows for us to have the reliability that we need. And finally, it creates an environment that I think will benefit a lot of our citizens, everyday folks, through investment in ideas like the data center or Microsoft, those types of high energy users that will create economic opportunity for our state. So I support this rate increase and thank you for your efforts to balance our energy program and our concerns of our residents. Thank you.
Just had a quick question. Were you testifying on your own behalf?
Yeah, that's on my behalf today, from my experience as a legislator, a business person, and a former utility person. I did at a time. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Okay, it's Ugo. Catch up with all of this. Good afternoon. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Name and comment, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Ugo Wabarocha. I'm the president and owner of Diamond Disc International, wholesaler of construction tools and equipment. I'm also the president of the National Association of Minority Contractors, Wisconsin chapter, and I'm also the chairman of the Business Council, affiliate member of the MAC. I'm here today to speak of the positive experience that I've had as a business owner here in the city of Milwaukee, as a native Milwaukeean, born and raised, as a business owner, as a diverse business owner, employing employees in the city of Milwaukee, owning our facility in the city of Milwaukee. I can only speak from the experience that I've had as a diverse business owner, as someone who's very passionate about the diverse business community. We Energies, WC Energy Group, We Energies has been an amazing partner to work with as far as their leading and supplier diversity efforts for the city of Milwaukee, for the region. We have a nationally, some people may not know, but a nationally recognized leader in the supplier diversity space. And I've always been a huge advocate of, it's when people talk about diversity and so forth and speak about corporations and so forth, it's not just about who you hire, but it's also about who you do business with. And WC Energy Group, We Energies has been a leader of investing, doing business in the communities that they serve. When you look at successful corporations, like that's locally, nationally, many of these organizations have had success because they've had access. They've had access to opportunities for decades and centuries. So when you look at diverse business, ethnic diverse businesses locally, one of the things that We Energies does, I've been a business owner here for 17 years. One of the things that We Energies does, they had hosted their own symposium for years. And what their symposium did was they showed visibility of opportunities, how to do business with the company. Not only that, but creating relationships, strategic relationship opportunities. And all these things may seem simple, but there are not other corporations that are doing that locally. And as a business owner, when you're looking to do business with major corporations, the leadership that WC Energy Group, their supplier diversity team, again, not just their supplier diversity executives, but again, having streamlined direct contact with their procurement, creating opportunities for the diverse business to grow. So when I say that, to me, a thriving diverse business community is important. And We Energies not only doing business directly with them, but also the organizations, the companies, the contractors that do business with We Energies, all of them, We Energies from the top down force these organizations to also do work with local diverse owned businesses. And as a business owner, just the importance of that, of them leading in that, leading by example. And also equally importantly is the leadership that they've had as far as impacting other corporations to do that here locally. Last but not least, when you look at the numbers, and obviously everybody, talks about the end, you measure what's important to you. So when you have, and I just have to say, when you have corporations that don't even measure how much business they do locally, when you have corporations that don't even look at how much do they invest in local diverse owned businesses, because you only measure what's important to you. So if it's not on their barometer, if it's not on their speedometer, they're not measuring it. We Energies does that. In 2021, I think they reported over 270 million directly invested in local diverse businesses. So to me, those things are important. And I know a thriving diverse business community doesn't solve everything, but I think it is a huge step in the right direction. And the leadership that they play in that role has been amazing, how they invest the resources back here locally in the local diverse business community. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
Can I just have you spell your last name?
Yes.
You don't have to do it on.
Oh,
While we're off the record, we have one person connected on Zoom, so I'm trying to see if you wish to make a comment. You just logged in with the word iPhone, so if you are see you there. Okay,
I read your handwriting right. Thank you.
Center you here on the screen. All right. So I know you just joined us, and we're taking public comment in the WEPCO Wisconsin Gas rate case. I'm with the Public Service Commission. I'm Michael Newmark, and we're here to listen to public comments. We have a number of people in the room here, and we have one of our commissioners in attendance as well. So I just want to make sure we can hear you. So let's just get your, let's test out your microphone first and see how that's going. Go ahead and just say something, folks. Yeah, the person who's connected by iPhone, just speak.
That would be me.
Okay, perfect. There you go. Great, you're coming in loud and clear. So what we're doing is we're taking public comments. First, I swear you in, and then get your name, and then you can give us your comments. So I'm going to ask you first to raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You having some trouble hearing me? It looks like.
I apologize. I'm hard of hearing to begin with.
Okay.
So there was a little bit of noise in the background. So
We should have some closed captioning on the screen as well. I don't know if you can see that, if it's working. Yep. Okay, good. So I need to swear you in first. So if you could raise your right hand. All right. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, great. So give us your name and spell it, please, and then give us your comment.
Sure. It's Vicky. It's spelled V as in Victor, I-C-K-I. Last name is Zerbel, Z as in zebra, I-R, B as in boy, E-L.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a concern, mostly because things are expensive. I mean, we're a family of four. My husband and I both work 40-hour work week, and I time every other weekend. And
oh, I'm sorry, we're having trouble hearing you. Maybe getting closer to the phone might help.
Okay. So we're a family of four, and my husband and I both have good jobs. We work 40 hours a week, if not more. I work overtime every other weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So I'm working 12 days in a row before I get a weekend off. And we're having a hard time affording things. Groceries are expensive, gas is expensive, other bills are expensive. Nothing is going down. Nothing is making it easier for us. And one of the bills that we have a difficult time affording sometimes is the WE bill. And they have no competition, none whatsoever. And if you look at other states such as Texas, Kentucky, I believe Tennessee was also another one where you know, energy companies were exclusive to one area and there was no competition and bills were astronomical, just like ours is. You know, we only have 1,000 square foot house and not even. And our bill on some months is $450, if not more, you know, and I have a real big hard time agreeing with the idea that We Energies gets to increase their bill yet again when everybody is doing it. And, you know, I can't work anymore to afford more. You know, I'm losing valuable family time to be at work just to afford things, just simple things like groceries. And it's getting out of hand. So no, I don't agree that yet again, here they are asking for more money from the public. I don't think it's right.
Okay, well, thanks very much. Appreciate the comment. So now how are you doing? You got a bunch more. You're okay.
I'm going to 6 o'clock.
We got about 12 more appearance slips, so don't forget to bring your appearance, fill out your slip and have the staff forward it up to me. So we'll keep going as long as our court reporter is in good shape here. We'll keep plugging along. But yeah, we haven't had a hearing go from one time to the other, just right in. We've had a 3-hour-long hearing, just totally 3 hours straight, no breaks. So I won't do that to you though. We're getting there. Okay. All right, so Shirley Warren, take you next. Shirley Warren. Oh, there you go. And I'm just going to ask you, we move the chair over a little bit so you're out of view on the camera. So we're just going to have you scooch closer to the corner. There we go. That should do it. A big X. All right. Just a second.
I don't mind being
It's important for us though. I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, well, oh, there we go.
Gotta be on camera, sure. Especially the way I look. I dress for yard work. I dress for yard work.
We want to see you in the real Shirley. That's who we want to see.
I'm not sure you mean that.
Okay, there we go. All right, so let's get on the record and I'll have you swear in. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
All right. So to you, and give us your name and comment. Name and comment.
My name is Shirley Warren, Warren. I am here. I did not hear the announcement, but so I was here for quilting and someone told me, and I certainly wanted to be able to make comment. I am absolutely positively opposed to the rate. About 20 years ago, I drove to Madison, 4 o'clock in the morning, to attend a hearing on the rate increase. I have made it known that I was opposed to the rate increase because it was not serving the residents in my particular neighborhood. I want to speak on 2 particular areas. One is my experience with We Energies is one area. The second area is that the increase is, first of all, We Energies is a wonderful service in the fact that we need it. It takes care of the heat and it takes care of the electricity. I find it very difficult when they merge together, so that if you turn off one area, we're totally devastated. You can't function. Secondly, I am very disappointed, and I'm asking the commission, your commissioners, right? That's what you're hearing for.
We have one commissioner here, yeah.
Okay, I am here that want to advocate that senior citizens get some consideration, that maybe there be no increase after you're 80 years old or after you've been in the house 40 or 50 years. You have paid your dues and no one has, the services has not been complimentary to the seniors. I say that in the fact that my electricity was turned off in maybe May and maybe June or July. I was absolutely devastated. I wrote the checks out, waited for my Social Security check to be deposited before I mailed the check in. Being a senior, you get busy. It was up over the car visor. I moved it. I forgot to, it didn't get mailed. I thought it was mailed. And when they called me, I don't work with carrying a phone all the time. I didn't get the call. The next thing I know, we thought that something had happened and went through all kinds of changes. My electricity was turned off. It was turned off because I was in a payment plan and it was late or it didn't get there. I then got it on. You're complicated for a senior citizen now. Might not be for anybody else. It's complicated because it doesn't run from the first of the month to the last of the month. It's the 18th or something. And you mix those days of when it's due and when it's not due. So because I had got it on, paid them the $600 and some, and it was due the 18th of that month, that was like a week before the 18th, they turned it off again. Wow. So that was 2 times I had that. So now I'm panicking. I went through the payment budget. I don't want to be on that because I am probably in the conspiracy theory that you never quite get it caught up. You're paying forever. And I'm in the old school where I don't want to owe anyone. I want to pay my bills and know what I have. I don't trust you all on having you take it out of my check every month because I only have an X amount and emergency comes up. So what do I do? So part of what happened was I'm now paying $800 and some for the re-energy. I've had a lot of things happen in my, death and so forth in the last 2 or 3 months. So I get the bill, in all this, I can't find the bill. So I'm panicking now. So I called the re-energies and I said, I'm not savvy, I admit to that. I know the bill was $800 and some. So I paid the $800. And of course, a day later, I find the bill that's $801.90 some. So am I gonna, they want to turn it off because you didn't pay the full bill. So now I'm going to talk to the commissioners. I know that is unfair. They're not taking any kind of consideration the fact that you're a senior citizen and you need to have some leeway. It's not that you're not willing to pay, it's that you don't always do it in their time frame. Given that, my senior citizen group talk about this a lot, that we get on there, we get a foreign company that you barely can understand. Some of us now say, hey, I want someone to speak to me that's local. It used to be that you could go down to the utilities and be able to talk to somebody. Now we have this other entity. So part of my complaint is, now this is where I'm asking the commissioners to do. You need to employ someone to help people like me understand this system. I am doing everything I can to keep my energy down. I'm turning off the lights. I admit I got a couple of refrigerators and freezers, but the problem that I'm having is I called to have someone come out to talk about the solar. A group of us have spent a whole year trying to find out about solar. This company said that they were part of We Energy, so I let them come. It was earth-shattering to learn what they said and what the cost was. And so that was out of the question. I mean, we couldn't even believe that it worked the way they said it worked. Then they talked about the wind tunnel. So what I'm asking the commission to do is not raise the rate, to provide some assistance for us to understand all the stuff that we're coming. We're from one generation and you're operating in another generation. They're giving all these light bulbs away at the senior center and different food pantries, but they're 60 watts or 40 watts. You can't even see that it's so dull. So the solar says, go buy this type of a light bulb. I go buy the light bulbs. They're $18 for 4 at Home Depot. Then they look just alike, so I lay them down so I get them all mixed up. There's no label on the light bulb to tell me which is 100, which is a 40. So there's just things that you need to do to help. You're working for us. You need to do something so that we can manage ourselves through this difficulty, including freezing the amount of cost because we're senior citizens. I think there are other places around the country that's offering a lock on your bill at a certain time, at a certain age. We basically go to bed early, we get up early, we use much less energy. We don't use we do nothing like we used to do when we were young. So we're not the ones who are consuming the energy, but you are charging us at the same rate and giving us nothing to even help us even understand that. We don't. And then the last part is, this is my third time talking to you all. I don't want to feel like I'm hopeless, but something needs to happen to do that. Let's say, I want to say one more thing. We're trying to understand, I'm trying to understand how this system works. That you keep raising it. They raise my water bill. They raise my We Energies. You're all one company together. And I assume you all get a raise. So as a senior citizen, what am I getting besides the lights come on and I can turn the water on? That's the same thing you get. I'm no longer working, I'm on a fixed income. And then the last thing is that there are certain kinds of circumstances that work in my community, this is my community, zip code 12 and zip code 6, that is not even thought of. Many of us are not just taking care of ourselves, we're taking care of other senior citizens in the neighborhood, our children, our great-grandchildren. We are a multifaceted family, and our income is being used so many more ways that we can ever communicate, and we get no consideration for that. The fact that I told the lady I was almost 85 made no difference for them. If I didn't have that $600 to get to them right away, they would not turn my electricity on. And then after I got it to them, it took them a day and a half to turn it back on. Now, I could have fallen and hurt myself in the dark, use candles and set the house on fire. There's just something that needs to be, you all need to do something for senior citizens so that our services can be better, so we can feel better about the company. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your comment. Steve Buffalo. Well, check and see. It looks like
spell your last name?
Muffalo.
You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, not but the truth.
I do.
All right, go ahead.
My name is Steve Buffalo. I'm Chief of Staff and Financial Secretary for the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 139.
Sorry. You're gonna have to.
Too fast?
Yes.
She beat me to it, that's how fast.
All right.
Well, she can look right up at
My name is Steve Buffalo. I am Chief of Staff and Financial Secretary for the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 139. There are over 11,000 members of the operating engineers in the construction industry throughout the state of Wisconsin. Many operating engineers live in the service areas of Wisconsin Electric Power Company and Wisconsin Gas, which I will collectively refer to as WEC. I am testifying today on behalf of the operating engineers in support of WEC's request to reopen. The limited rate reopener is driven by new investments in electric and natural gas infrastructure that have already been approved by the Public Service Commission and that go into service in 2023 and in 2024. These infrastructure investments are necessary to allow WEC to provide reliable, clean energy to its customers. While no one enjoys cost increases, the rate increases proposed in the reopener will cost the average customer only a few dollars a month. In my opinion, the benefits of cleaner energy far outweigh the small rate increases. However, that is only one benefit of WEC's clean energy infrastructure investments. The operating engineers are the people that build infrastructure projects for most of Wisconsin's utility companies, including WEC. WEC's clean energy infrastructure projects are creating family-sustaining union construction jobs for Wisconsin residents. The projects provide an opportunity for apprentices to be trained in careers in construction to flourish. The operating engineers had approximately 1,200 apprentices in 2023, a substantial increase over previous years. The increase in the number of apprentices that the operating engineers were able to bring in 2023 was due in part to clean energy infrastructure projects like those necessitating WEC's rate reopener. In a recent study issued by Forward Analytics, it was determined that solar farm economic impasse depends on workforce composition, i.e. local versus out of state, meaning that using Wisconsin local workers generates significantly greater economic impact than out of state workforce. Using local workers generates between 73% and 158% more economic activity than using out of state workers. When the projects described in this proceedings by WEC, they are being built with local people, like many WEC's projects have been or will be. The local economic benefits are much greater than a project that brings in people from out of state. WEC's commitment to clean energy, supporting local economies, and using Wisconsin construction workers to build infrastructure projects should be acknowledged by approving WEC's request to the opener. Thank you for allowing me to speak today.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Can I ask you, I was gonna ask you.
You sure can.
Spelling, I did.
Great, all right, awesome, thanks. Okay, Glenn DeMorgan.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
All right.
It's good.
Sitting.
No.
All right, let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, so state your name and your comment.
All right. My name is Glenn Morgan, spell it Glenn. My comment is that I oppose the rate increase. I don't think it's necessary for the rate to be increased. I don't think it's necessary for we to increase the rate at this time. I know that we is doing a great job. I heard all the testimonies of what they do with the money. But when I look in my neighborhood and I see elder people that's still living in their houses that's 80, 85, and 90 years old on a set income, and then all the different rates raised up, and then you raise we energy and where they can't afford to have it on, because I know even in my house, I keep, don't turn on the air conditioner in the summertime, outside a lot to try to keep the energy bill low. But then when wintertime comes where you're older, your bones ain't where you want to have your energy up a little bit, 69 to 70 degrees. And then you talk about imposing and raising it where you're on a set income, you can't afford it. And then what happens in this community is that then the kids come along and then move them out of their homes where they've been in for 40 or 50 years, where they feel comfortable at, where they want to be until they pass away, but can't do it because of the rates keep increasing. I understand that, you want to deal with more energy and stuff like that, but I think it should be taken out of the profit margin of what they make. We makes money. They're not in the red, they make money. So if anything that they need to do, they can take it out of the profit that they gain and do what is necessary to keep the power in the grid working. So I oppose it by saying, no, do not raise the rates right now at all, because you have to look at people that's been around all this time. And when you get 80 or 90 years old and you're at a set income, you don't live your life, these are the people that hurt. They're not going to look for a part-time job. They're in their homes and they want to stay in their homes until they pass away. And I see that in my community. And it hurts when I see one of the houses are sold by the kids because they're saying the rates in Milwaukee are too high, where they move them out to another area where they're not in the city of Milwaukee at all. And that hurts when you see all the different rates in the city of Milwaukee are steady going up, and then we going up too. So I oppose it by saying, please don't raise the rate right now.
All right, thanks very much. So off the record, it's about 50 minutes. You can use it, right? All right, I got my orders. All right. Yeah, well, yeah, we're just gonna take a recess for about 5 minutes. We still have about 10 more people to go, so sit tight and we'll stretch first and then sit tight. We'll be back 5 after 4. Thanks. Yeah.
Let's see what number I am.
Oh, yeah.
Decide if I'm gonna see.
Sure. Well, yeah, you want to just.
Power cord for mine? You got to.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're all good. Thanks. Working great. Appreciate it. All right, well, when I let people take a break, usually we go a little later than we expected. So we really should get back in because we have a lot of people still to go. So let me call Chris Von Briesen. Oh, you're here? Perfect, all right. So everyone else, I'm sorry?
I will be concise.
All right.
Try to be.
Concise is good. We encourage concise.
Thank you.
So,
As opposed to others.
sure we're all.
First name is Chris.
Yes. I'll spell my last name.
It's like the Boston.
Yes. There you go.
When I wrote it down, I'm like, that's like the lot
That is. There you go.
that you own, right?
No. Just other relatives, but I'm in that family, yes. So.
All right, well, that's good on the record. So I'll swear you in. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, so state your name and give your comment, please.
My name is Chris Von Briesen. I'm a resident of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53211 zip code. For the record, I'm definitely opposed to this rate hike. As a result of the last rate hike, my utility gas cost actually increased 42% on an average daily basis because I have the fixed cost increase, but my average gas usage did not. So, and I can show the PSC my bills to show that 42% increase. It's right there on the bills. Yes.
Dennis? Yeah, I know. Yeah, can we just keep the door open? We'll just ask people to quiet down. That's, we don't want to keep the door closed.
Yes, my average daily cost went from utility gas cost, which is a line item on your bill. It went from 35 cents a day to 50 cents a day, which calculates at 42.85%. So definitely not in favor of this increase. Two, regarding We Energy's quote unquote top talent referred to before, I'm being sarcastic here. I live in a small condo association with townhomes, and they were all built in the same year, many years ago. It has taken their utility crews 2 trips over 2 years to replace the gas meters, and there's like less than a dozen of us. Why they separated out those 2 trips, I don't know, but if they're the quote unquote that efficient, they shouldn't be in business. And when I talked to the customer service about this issue, they were completely confused and didn't understand what I was trying to relay to them. And they were completely unhelpful when I was trying to relay this inefficiency to them. Third thing I have is I've been contributing to Energy for Tomorrow as part of my bill. And however PSC calculates that rate, or We Energies calculates that rate, it is I'm absolutely not surprised that We Energies is so far behind the ball in getting Re-Energy up and running, because it is such a small portion of my bill that there's no way that they've been able to keep up with the rest of the country with their green energy investments. Last thing I'd want to know from the PSC is, after the last set of rate hikes, what are the numbers of people and or percentage of individuals whose bills either became delinquent or went into default after that last rate increase? If you could publish that and post that for everyone to see, that would be appreciated. Agencies which help individuals with the utility costs should have similar information on their side of that equation too, to get those numbers. I would not be surprised to see a significant increase after that last rate hike, and we're just going to see more people needing assistance after this one. So for all of those reasons, I am definitely opposed to these rate increases. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Okay, Jessica Cook. Here you are.
I am going to speak. Like that was the last one.
All right, great. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, state your name and give us your comment, please.
Jessica Cook, Jessica, Cook, C-O-O-K. As a lot of people have said here already today, electricity and gas and heating are absolute necessities for surviving, especially in our modern world where we need so many of them to use or to do our daily jobs. And for that reason, I have to be completely opposed to a rate raise like this. But I do find it especially ridiculous that a company that is posting record profits and already just earlier this year had a rate increase of like 11% for residents, I believe. An increase of like drastic proportions that is hurting a lot of people, is asking for more money. And it may be a smaller raise than that, but it's still ridiculous that they weren't able to collect what they needed from that first raise in the first place. I don't understand why paying for, like renewable energy sources can't come out of the record profits that they're posting or the money that they have already gotten out of us this year. And I think it's been very plainly clear in all the people who have spoken here that the ones who have been in support have all been on the side of businesses and investors and folks who either work for the energy company or work very closely with it. And all the people who have spoken against have been just average residents of this city, people who are saying that they are hurting already by how much they have to pay for these rates and that they don't want to be hurt anymore in the future. And they're just asking, and I am also asking of the PSC to please make the right choice here, deny this raise, and I wouldn't even say you're necessarily helping out average residents, you're just not actively hurting them by doing that. Sorry, long day, but the choice is either that or give money to shareholders of a company that are already, like I said, posting record profits and making more than they were from every individual just last year. Thanks, that's all.
All right. Thanks so much. Maria Beltran. She might be outside.
I think you just went to get her.
Yeah.
Hello. You have a friend with you?
Yeah, my grandson.
Well, see you if you want.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Give us your name and contact, please.
My name is Maria Beltran. Thank you for having me and for being here to listen to us today. I'm here with my grandson in Northside Rising. I've been a homeowner in Lindsay Heights 53205 for 32 years, and every year I get disconnected twice yearly. Even when I was doing my best to keep my bills paid to date, life happens, and being poor, hard times are reality for most. I do not agree with We Energy's asking for another increase. If anything, it should be capped no more than 2.9%. Summers are hot in my concrete community with not enough green spaces. Our winters are extremely cold due to our old housing stock that need our homes revitalized by making our homes fully weatherized from top to bottom. Come build green spaces in our community and make affordable newer homes so we can stay nice and warm too. I am on a fixed income and it never changes. That is why it is an urgency to activate the PIP program and never charge more to anyone like me and my family that live on fixed incomes. Training and making jobs is not enough. Not all where I am from have the opportunity to get a good education and financial literacy, so we too can have a thriving business. All the plans to make clean solar energy is beautiful, but charge those who have stock to pay for it, not the consumers. We really want to do something. If you really want to do something right, We Energies, make rates that are affordable for me and my city, so that I do not have to choose between getting disconnected, not having enough food to feed my babies, no childcare, not enough for transportation, or even picking up my medication to live. I want to be able to support my family just like you. Shame on you, We Energies. And P.S., the Public Service Commission, if you allow it again. That's my statement. Thank you.
Thanks very much. TV Gainer. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he wants to say something.
Okay, we have to swear you in.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
That's okay. He's one of us.
That's terrible.
He's in the good fight.
That's terrible. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is a public hearing. Okay, I'm going to swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Name and comment, please.
Kiva Guiden, Kevia, Guiden, Guiden. Hello, everyone. My name is Kiva Guiden. I am the Energy Burden Organizer for Northside Rising of Citizen Action Co-op, the Black Side. Also, I am the project coordinator for the Wisconsin Climate Table. So first, I want to say thanks for allowing us to have this time once again to be here in front of you all and to uplift our voices. Well, for those of you who do not know, I am a very trusted source. I am a voice for the people of the community. What I do is I make sure that I serve all of the southeastern Wisconsin. But what I want you guys to know is that the very reason I'm here is because I am heading a campaign called Fight for Our Lights. I've been heading this campaign for a little over a year now. With that being said, that is because I want We Energies to know that Milwaukee is a targeted area. Us, meaning us Black folks, were strategically put in these areas. So due to redlining and historical racism, this is why we are seeing the effects that we are seeing. This is why we are coming out and we need to speak. This is why our voices need to be uplifted. Our homes are uninsulated. We're living in homes that are over 100 years old. Our homes are not weatherized. Keep in mind, I'm gonna always say this, and it's probably not gonna change much, but the minimum wage here in Milwaukee is $7.25, okay? Nobody can live and manage to be not underneath the poverty lines, making $7.25. The prospective income throughout the United States is at least $72,000, okay? With that being said, these rates are only affecting our Black and brown communities. Our incomes are less than our surrounding white communities and the incomes that the white communities receive. Now, with that being said, with homes being insulated and these white communities, they're only seeing at least a 2.1% of their annual income to pay for their bills. With that being said, I totally am in And I am, with that being said, I am totally demanding that the Public Service Commission today implements the PIP, the Payment Income Pilot Program, which will close those disparities between white communities and Black communities. And we're demanding and asking for a 2.1% cap. So if white communities are paying that, why shouldn't our Black communities be paying that? And knowing, and I'm not coming here talking about all of this equity and inclusion and all of, we all know exactly what's happening here. We all know exactly where it's going to and who it's all going to and who it's gonna hurt. And with that being said, I seen some of my brothers, but they didn't look like my brothers sitting up here and talking about what's happening in these communities, okay? Ain't nobody walking. I knock doors. I go in the grocery stores. I go in the liquor stores. I go in the churches because that's what's in our communities. And I talk about and bring awareness to what's going on. Because people, listen, I just walked out my back door a couple of weeks ago, and I can show y'all because it's on my phone and I recorded them. And the guy actually told me it was okay because I do ask for folks' permission for, you know, because I collect stories and all of that good stuff. But there was a guy that was literally running a generator. And I don't know if y'all can hear it in my voice, but there is no way that no one should have to be running a generator from the back of their house because the electricity got cut off because they couldn't pay for it. Now, what if something goes wrong with that generator? I know what generators are. I know what they for. I know how they run on gas, but what if there was an explosion? But these are the things that we have to see and have to deal with. You know, we have to become resilient. You know, I've got somebody here that's going to speak about, you know, it's just so many different scenarios for so many different people because of so much trauma and the lack of investment in our Black and brown communities. And so for us to have to pay such of a large amount of money towards something that is essential, basic need. I mean, you might as well wipe us off the map if that's the case. Oh, now I'm gonna leave on this note because I'm gonna need for y'all to know that I'm very smart, smarter than a 5th grader. Over 2 years ago, that Oak Creek plant was supposed to close, okay? That Oak Creek plant is still up and running, okay? And what is it burning? Fossil fuel and coal, okay? And guess who it's affecting? Us and our children, okay? You know why? Because they put those plants in areas where there's less desirable people live at, okay? This is why, and I work with health professionals as well, but there's an increase in our neighborhoods as far as with asthma, bronchitis, you know, respiratory issues as well. So not only are they killing the planet, helping killing the planet, and keep in mind, everybody's moving towards clean energy. Well, I just want We Energies and all of their people to know that they are still number 32, the worst in the United States to make efforts towards clean energy. So if we're gonna be cleaning up some and we're gonna be paying for some, they need to be taking it out of their pockets and taking care of that because they're doing more harm than good. Now, we can't do nothing without them because like I said, it's an essential need. But I'm also need for people to know though too, that we are in efforts and working towards energy democracy. And for our plans is for our utilities to be for the people and by the people. Thank you.
David Weingrod.
Oh, I have one more thing.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. And also, I am working with Focus on Energy. So those little green boxes that you guys are paying, because Focus on Energy is like partners with We Energies. They're paid by We Energies. Well, I'm out here doing free work. So cut the check.
Okay, David Weinbrand. David, can we check and see if he's out there? All right, put that aside. Erica Steve, S-T-E-I, there she is. Stein, okay. It's not the worst I've done.
What was your first name, son? Erica, E-R-I-C-A.
Cute.
Go ahead.
All right, swear you in. Do you swear or affirm tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Sure do, yes.
Okay. Name and comment, please.
Yeah, so my name is Erica Steib, and today I'm here on behalf of, well, myself as a We Energies customer, a Milwaukee resident. I'm also here with Northside Rising, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and Citizen Action, and all the fine people who are working to reduce the energy burden on the people of Milwaukee, and particularly our Black and Brown neighbors. So I'm here to speak in opposition to this rate hike. You know, a part of me wants to laugh a little bit because I recognize you probably recognize me from last time. I recognize our friends here, and we did this last November, and it was the same situation against that. You know, you wanted 13% increase. We got 11%, which is still way too much. We did the same thing, same vibe. Everyone, for the most part, coming out, regular people coming out to say that this is unacceptable, that we don't want this. And still, even though like this is supposed to be a public hearing in a public service commission here to meet the needs of the public, still the decision was made to increase these rates at the expense of us regular people. And like so many others have said before me, you know, I really can't say a whole lot new or say a whole lot of things better than so many before me did. But, you know, I've thought about like, you know, what's really changed in this last year. You know, my energy bill has gone up a lot. A lot of people around me really are still paying off their bill from last winter. Some people might think 3% is nothing, but that is not the reality for a lot of people. It's incredibly dehumanizing and humiliating and tragic to have your energy cut off and to have to pay these bills and to have to decide between these, you know, one basic necessity or another. And so this should not be taken lightly. And I don't want to hear about, oh, We Energies needs this to improve the green infrastructure or whatever. This is a monopoly. This is a Wall Street company. And like others have said, I don't see why us regular people should have to pay for that. They have the profits, they're giving raises to their CEOs, to their board members, to their shareholders, and we get nothing in return except higher bills. And so, you know, what else has happened in the last year? The taxes have gone up here in Milwaukee. So many people are struggling more than ever. Wages are not going up in most cases. And yeah, it's the same situation. It's a new year. We're having the same conversation. But the good news is, and the one thing that I'll kind of end on is that in the last year, what has happened since that last meeting that we were all at, we've been building coalitions and connections and building up a movement that's going to, you know, reduce get these reforms that we need to reduce the burden here and now, because we need relief here and now. We need that PIP program. We need caps on people's bills because they literally cannot afford to live like this. But in the long run, we are working towards making this an actual public utility under public ownership. And so many people here today have said, you know, I wanted to come to this meeting. I feel like it wasn't going to go anywhere. I don't really expect you to listen to me. And if anyone else is feeling like that, you know, this is my invitation to join the struggle, because we can have a public service that is in control of the people, where we decide what it looks like, we decide what the rates are, and we decide how energy is allocated so that we can meet the needs, not only of the people, but of the planet. So yeah, in summary, we need to reject this rate increase. And I know everyone tonight is going to be saying the same things. And so PSC, I urge you to listen to us.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Ted Craig?
Ted had to leave.
Okay. All right. Put him on the side in case he comes back later. Rosie Petrie.
I mean, I forgot, gotta hang on.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Name and comment.
My name is Rosie Petrie, and I am a community member. I live in this neighborhood. I'm a homeowner, I'm a small business owner, and I'm an artist. And I went to my first We Energies protest 20 years ago when you wanted to increase the use of fossil fuels at the power plant in Oak Creek. Last year, there was an increase, 11%. People came out and they said very specifically they didn't want that. They couldn't afford it. I think people felt railroaded. I think they felt ignored. I think they feel hopeless. And like a lot of people here have said today, everything has increased. Food has increased. The cost of living has increased. Gas has increased. We do not have anything left. I'm not a large business. I'm a small business. I'm a one-person business. My husband is a one-person business. We live in this neighborhood. We run our businesses out of our home. And every year for the last 5 years without fail, we have lost power for at least a week in this neighborhood. For us, we've been able to make it work. But I know that we've had to throw food away from our refrigerators and our freezers that we bought so that we made sure we were containing our income. We don't spend a ton of money. We do everything we can to keep our costs low. We can't afford to spend more money when people are getting bonuses. And quite frankly, We Energies put that focus into building up the coal-fired power plant. We are on a Great Lake. There is a social responsibility about the collective well-being of our environment, as well as the people who live in it. And I don't think it's equitable or responsible to ask community members who are not corporations, who are not even privileged enough to be a part of a union, to pay more when we still receive less. We don't get access to that extra money that is exchanged in those large business relationships. We have to live in neighborhoods where people are choosing between what things they can afford and what they can hold on to. And when you put people in dangerous positions where they have to choose between food, lights, healthcare, they start taking that aggression and that anger out on each other. This is dangerous. This is dangerous for our community. So I am in opposition to this increase, and I really hope that y'all take some of these, I'm sorry, I'm very frustrated. Take some of this money that you've extracted from our community over the last 20 plus years and invest your own money into the green infrastructure that you owed us and that you owe this place. I'm finished.
Dorothea Macon. Macon. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. My name is Dorothea Macon.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. My apologies. My name is Dorothea Macon.
So you have to raise your right hand. Right hand.
Left, right, other right.
That's just how we do it. Do you swear or affirm the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, great. You know, I am in opposition to the rate increase. I've listened to what everybody said, and there have been a lot of wonderful things that have been brought up. The one thing that I don't think has been brought up is that any prudent company figures out ways to utilize their money in the best ways. So for instance, they may restructure their employees, you know, figure out where they can save money by moving around their employees. Like the guy mentioned earlier, it seems to be a tale of two cities where they're asking, I tried to find the mission statement, and I wasn't sure if that was the same thing as WEC. That's the same? Okay. So it tells you that they're being responsible, that We Energies or We WEC is responsible for, first of all, customers, and then it goes on into it says stakeholders, starting off with the customers, and then it talks about two other entities, and then it says in investors. It appears that the focus is on the investors, as we did see people who talked about how We Energies has helped their business and that kind of thing. A prudent company, however, would
I'm old enough to remember when We Energies was split from the gas company. And it makes it a little bit more difficult when everything gets cut off if you don't pay one bill. So at least if you have one or the other, I can make a decision in the winter to keep my heat on and use some other ways of energy. People who are poor figure out ways to get around things, but if you keep taking their money away from them, they can't even figure those things out. Can I see my paper once? I think I had two other things on it. It was the last paper, I think. So again, I'm saying that any prudent company comes up with effective measures that they can take. And nobody talked about what measures they can take. It talked about how we can clean the coils, how we can change the light bulbs, how we can turn out lights and those type of things. So number one, splitting electric from the gas, it increases choices for our customers. There's not a monopoly. It doesn't mean that everything gets cut off at the same time. Number two, increasing options for purchasing resources. I looked up online, there are several different companies in the state of Wisconsin that provide energy. However, we have one choice here in Milwaukee. I think even Madison has three, if I'm not mistaken, or they did at one time. They have three choices. Milwaukee has one choice. So I think that presently, you know, we're supposed to be, bottom line, there's no competition. The third thing that I wrote down is to consider investing that surplus dollars that they receive. Any prudent company would put it into investments. You know, put it in the stock or wherever they put it so that that money grows, and then utilize that money. In addition to restructuring the We Energy workforce so that you can save dollars and absorb costs for getting that renewable energy. In addition, you know, some of the folks talked about people working for 40 years. Generally, what happens when you have so many people in any other company that are at the top that are absorbing all of the money and making all of the money, what do they do with those folks? They buy them out. They say, okay, well, we're gonna give you a severance package or whatever so that you can go. They bring in the new people who are gonna bring in the new ideas. So I think that, like I said, I'm gonna shorten this now, but I think that we've put a lot of focus on what it is that the customers can do and not what the investors can do, not what We Energy can do in order to create a more equitable, and I'm using that word because there's no other, I can't think of another synonym for it, but an equitable way of figuring out how to leverage the money and the resources and get it to the people. But if you guys look at what it's saying the charge is for customers, it's a lot more customer friendly than what is being presented here by an increase. So the mission statement is not matching what We Energy says it's all about. Thank you.
Thanks. So that's all the care slips I have. I do have these three people that we've called before. I just want to make sure they're not here. So it's Jacqueline Jones, David Weingrad, and look like Ted Craig. So I have you here. I'll save you on the pile for 6 p.m. just in case you come back. But don't forget, we can still accept comments when we'll be back here at 6. And we'll also be accepting written comments until next Monday. So written comments online or by US mail. So at this point, we're gonna adjourn the, well, I'm gonna ask, anyone else hasn't spoken yet that wants to make a comment? No, all right. So we'll adjourn until 6 and come back together and do it again. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Next one.
6 o'clock, yeah.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I have some ladies, they have to put their stuff in.
Okay, so just for people online, we may have another comment or two coming in for this session. Just sit tight for a minute here. Yeah, just fill out another slip. If you want to just come up and we can. Yeah, just come up and we'll have you fill out a slip after you're done.
So you still gonna go wax.
Yeah, you can come on up and give your comment now. That's fine. So what we'll do is we'll just have you make sure you spell your name. Let's make sure you spell your name because we don't have it in writing yet. So first, let's swear you in. I just want to make sure my microphones are on here. Okay. So I'm going to swear you in. Raise your right. There you go. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Always.
All right. There you go. And give us your name and spell it, please, for us.
Joanne. Joanne is spelled J-O-A-N-N, one word. Last name Johnson, Johnsson.
Go ahead.
I just want well, we just about all heard about, I'm not for the increase. And I want to state what I personally have to go through each month. I have health problems. I'm a senior. And when I have my bills laid out and to budget myself, whatever I have left, I'm on a budget, but I cannot afford that budget. So I pay what I can. And I don't know if they will eventually try to discontinue the budget or whatever, but that's all I can do is try because I'm going to eat. So I just wanted to state that. And by me being a senior and I have, like I said, health problems, I am a diabetic and I go through I had to do it this month as well. But I did pay something, but I didn't pay my full budget. And I just hope that they would just leave me alone because I'm doing the best that I can do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Anyone else want to speak that hasn't spoken yet?
We get to raise our hand, right?
Right at. Do you swear or affirm tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. So name and spell it for us, please.
Catherine, Catherine, and then Palmer, Palmer.
Perfect. All right. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm a senior as well. And so many of the seniors in our community have a very difficult time paying their utility bills. And every single month, they go through the crisis of trying to get it paid. And I myself too, I live in a duplex and my upstairs, there's no one living in there, but that bill goes up every single month and nothing has changed, but they constantly increase it. And we have to battle every single month about why there's an increase and there's no one living upstairs, even though we live in the house, but we don't have anybody upstairs. And so it used to be like $15, $20. Now it's like $75, $80. And the rationale is, oh, the budget has changed or the income has changed, but there's always an excuse when it comes to us seniors about what we pay. And we've paid enough taxes and things every single year that we should not have to be going through this crisis on a regular basis. And it's unfair for consumers, whether they're seniors, whether they're newly hired young people. It's difficult for them to make ends meet when there's constant an increase. And then they justify it by saying, oh, we're increasing new energy, we're bringing new things. But whereas the consumer is not seeing this. And no matter what we do, if we protest,
We speak to them, they always pacify you and tell you, oh, that person's not available that you talk to. And it's a constant runaround that the consumers are given, whether they're young or old. And we need to have some justification, some changes made so that the general people can understand why the conglomerates out here are so greedy that they take from the poor and give to the rich, and then they don't think about it. And it's not just our community, but it's going all around. Milwaukee experiences this on a regular basis. You can go out in the suburbs and you can see how they have the different energy and stuff going. And it doesn't make sense. We know that Milwaukee is one of the most racist cities in the state because of the redlining and stuff that's been done. And I know this for a fact because I used to be in the mortgage business. And I understood about how redlining was going, especially when it dealt with placing people in homes and then they couldn't get the mortgages and stuff like that. All of that is still a constant battle going on. And no matter which part of the city that you live in, when it's coming to re-energies and things like that, they need to take this into consideration. And the fat cats up there are getting fatter, and the other people at the bottom line are constantly being challenged. And you know, there's so much mental illness going on as the result of them not being able to provide for their families, including their energy. I like to talk, so I think I've said enough.
No, I really
But I'm
appreciate
not in support of an increase under any circumstances. Thank you.
Thanks for your comment. Appreciate your comment. All right, so that's everyone for now. So we'll adjourn till 6. All right, take care.
Thank you.